In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 7 of Mayor of Kingstown, titled Along Came a Spider. Now, the episode starts off with recapping the events, what happened in episode 6, with the FBI agents getting killed and Iris getting kidnapped or becoming a missing persons because another FBI agent was a mole. So basically, the police department is working with the FBI to try and find Iris and the FBI mole, and all the while Mike has a tail on him, so he has to give up his phone and he has to change cars with his receptionist. But he gets a new phone and a new number, which is transferred to a new phone. And then all the while, he has to meet with Milo. And we finally understand Milo's motive and everything. And he meets him at the prison, and then Milo tells him to go look for a briefcase again, or a silver container or metal case or something like that. And basically, Mike just tells him, because of you, I have the FBI up my ass. There are people looking after me, surveillance. He's like, I don't understand. What do you want from me? And then basically Milo said to Mike, it's like, this will benefit you in the long run. And Mike actually agreed to go look for this case. So it's good to see Aidan Gillen, the actor who plays Milo, in this, because I feel like he had a broad role in this, and we got to see him more than maybe 30 seconds at a time, like we did in the previous episodes. I feel like this scene that he was in was maybe 2-3 minutes total, and it was really good because then we understood what he was doing. Now, we find that Iris is going back into what she did before when she was in New York, which is so-called prostitution, so to speak. And Milo's right hand takes Iris to a biker house where all these biker, guys are and women. And we find out the guy who runs that car wash, one of the white leaders of the white gang who talks with Mike about everything, is the one who has Iris. It's very interesting to see. And the next scene, Iris tries to escape, but she doesn't, and she just, welcomes the fact that she's like here now, she's stuck. But Mike's trying to look for her, but she is under Mike's nose, and it's right under his nose because the guy who leads this white gang evidently has Iris. So it's interesting. And Iris so far had a smaller role in this episode, and it wasn't as big as the previous 6th episode where she was in every scene and the story was about her. So this one was a little more, tied down and actually made sense. And now the security guard, Sam, who was transferred to the women's prison, is so-called the new meat, so to speak. All the women are flirting with him and this and that, and there's one woman prisoner who just likes him for what he is. She has a mirror, she's looking behind him while he's standing in the back of the room during the class, while the teacher, Mike's mother, Miriam, is teaching the class, and she's just, the woman prisoner is just oblivious because she's understanding what this prisoner is. And the whole aspect of his story is that, he got transferred for his safety, but then Miriam tells him the women are just like the men, but they're more ruthless, and so it's easy and it's crazy. And this woman prisoner tries to, flaunt her curves. She touches his, dick, and she just goes on, and she's naked in her cell, but she tells her inmate or her partner or her friend who's in the prison cell with her to video record this. So he's being video recorded, so something's going to happen with Sam, so to speak. Now, not only that, the so-called prisoners of the men's prison go on strike. They turn their backs to the cell, they don't eat breakfast, so the guards go to the warden, and the warden has a sit down with every single gang member, the whites, the Latinos, the blacks, the other gangs in this prisoner. And I do want to give a shout out to actor Lawrence Adams. I followed him from a short horror film that I reacted to from the form Lunchbox, and he actually is in this episode, and he has a big major role, and he's been networking it out there that his role is going to be big, and it was very pronounced, and it was big. So shout out to you, Lawrence Adams, and great. I wish you had a speaking role, and hopefully we see more of you in this series. So basically, this whole aspect with the warden meeting the gang leaders was that to try and have peace in there, but the warden doesn't know what happened behind the scenes with, or the killing of that one white guy who killed that son and that baby, who the 5-year-old child in one of the early previous episodes. So the warden wants to look into it and everything. And then they actually try and give these prisoners free range to do everything. So it's interesting to see, how everything is happening. And then all the while that's happening, the FBI agent that was the mole is evidently shot and killed and dumped in a dumpster, and the garbage picks it up. And then the police come and the FBI come, and they find out that this guy is dead now. But then while that's happening, while the FBI is at this location looking for their informant, Mike is out looking for this metal, case, evidently, that Milo wants. It's interesting. The episode was really good. It was really well written. It's close to an hour long, close to 45 to 50 minutes long. It's a really long episode, and it's getting better. The first 5 episodes were slow going. They were still establishing the characters, but episode 6 and now this episode 7, Along Came a Spider, was really, really good. We're understanding the focus and the focal point of where everything's going with these characters, these gang leaders in these men's prison, what the women's prison is about. Every single character in this show is having their equal amount of screen time, but we know that Mike is the full front center point of everything. Or is he? Because I feel like Milo's pulling the strings, but it's going to get a point where Mike had it with Milo, and something's going to happen. I'm curious to see where this goes from here, and it's good because the writing's getting better, the acting's getting better, and the story is getting more suspenseful than we had before, and it's really, really entertaining, and it's really, really fun. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 7, Mayor of Kingstown, titled Along Came a Spider. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the gritty aspect of it? What do you think Milo's intentions are with Mike? And do you think Mike is actually going to listen to Milo from here on out? It's going to be interesting to see how all these characters, arc in their story at the end, and to see who's actually trustworthy and not trustworthy, and to see who dies and who lives, and see what happens with everything that goes on in this show. So let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked, and be sure you tune in next week to my episode 8 review of Mayor of Kingstown, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.